And now we are ready to make this folded centerpiece that is now still grayish. We want to give this a warm red color. Again, we will use the layer style window, and this time if we double click it, I open the layer style window, and this time I will not use pattern overlay, but will use color overlay. If I click that, you see that the whole folded texture will disappear, but I only have to click and set the blending mode to multiply in order to have it back. And I like this warm texture, so I will leave it like this, and I click OK. Well, that is very simple. You can see now it has this color overlay. In GIMP it goes a bit different, of course, because as I said, you cannot use layer style. So what I will do is I will select the pixels like this, right click and choose alpha to selection. I will create a new layer on top that I will call color overlay, and I say OK, keeping the transparencies. I go into the color overlay and I will choose a bright red color like this, for instance. Say OK. I will fill the whole selection with the foreground color like this, and I will choose the blending mode multiply for this one as well, and you see it has exactly the same effect as using the layer style in Photoshop. Great. Back to Photoshop, because now I want to make a broader yellow gold border here around this top of this template, and I need to let it follow these lines, so I need a temporary base again, and that this time I need the back and the front base. I will use these two layers, duplicate them and merge them and call them base temp. I will create a new layer on top of this, because this is where I'm going to have my border. I will select the pixels on this one, and while having this selection I will choose the border layer and then go edit stroke. I have this nice yellow color selected. It may be 20 pixels wide on the inside, and I click OK, and I see this horrible situation where the complete template base is filled with the border. I am going to correct that now. First I can throw away the base temp because I don't need it anymore, like this. I go back to the border. I will use a eraser tool, Ctrl D, and my selection has gone. And now I need my edge matching guide again, very much so, because I am going to make a nice smooth border here where these borders come together. This can go, and carefully I will remove this, and about halfway this orange line, and I can make this into a smooth border like that. I do the same about here. This is a red line, and halfway the red line I will make the border. There we go. The same on the back. I set halfway the orange border here, and halfway the red border. Come on. Here. Let me take away the pattern overlay here. Oh yeah, now I can see it better. See, here is halfway that, and now you see it has a really old shape, so I'm going to make this a bit more roundish, but it still has a very old shape. It doesn't look at all like a collar to me. So giving the UV lines and the lasso tool, I will make this into more or less like a nice, somewhat rounded collar. There we go. And I will fill it up with the bucket tool. Control D, deselect. Use my eraser a little bit more in order to get this nice and smooth like this. Great. I will have to go into Second Life in order to... Wait, this has to be a bit more like this. In order to match these edges before I can upload it, of course. I will do that. Have to do that exactly the same way as I checked on the arm edges. I can remove the rest by using the marquee tool. Just select it and use the backspace, and make sure that you don't accidentally remove parts that you really want to keep, but make sure that you remove everything that needs to be removed. If you want to check whether you have removed everything, please select the pixels of the border. You will see little marching ends there where you have forgotten a little part. I will put back this overlay. Now what I want to do, I can deselect this again. What I want to do is I want to add some noise so that this will look more or less... Oh, see, here is something strange. I didn't actually really cover that. I can correct it with a brush. So now it is in order. I want to add some noise so it looks like a real texture, and I do that by choosing filter and then noise, add noise, and I use a Gaussian noise 10% monochromatic, and if I click OK, I will see that it looks really beautiful, like it is a golden rim, a golden border. In GIMP it works more or less the same. There we have to choose the base layer. I click alpha to selection. I have the base layer. I choose a new layer, and that I will call yellow border. Okay. I make sure that I am in the yellow border, and then I click edit stroke selection, and the stroke selection here is a solid color that I will have to choose, because I still have a red here and I want it to be a warm yellow one, for instance like this, and I choose 40 pixels wide, because it is double wide, and I say stroke, and now you see it is both on the base and on the outside. So I will invert the selection here, and I will use the delete button, and so now it's only the part inside that is that has a stroke. And here I will do exactly the same as what I did in Photoshop. I will remove the parts that I don't need. I will make this with the lasso tool. I will make this more into a border. Let me take away the UV lines and the subdivided UV lines, get a little closer, and I will show you where the noise tool is in GIMP. We select the yellow border again, and we go to filters, noise, RGB noise, and here it is. We will use the independent RGB, everything set at 20, here the alpha at 0, and we click OK, and this is really another beautiful beautiful golden border. See, and now we will remove the parts that we don't need. Well, if we have done that, we are going to go back and try to add something here that comes from another designer, but that will be the next video.